on behalf of my brother and everybody else, thank you for being here. We're going to spread the second half of Don's ashes. And
very appropriately so.
So what's this, Mike?
I think it's going to trigger a bluefin bite. Bite it!
All right.
Get some, baby. Brady!
That's Don right there.
That's Don, dude!
Dino, slide in there. Dean,
there, Dino.
Dean, your first tuna, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. That's rad. He killed that thing.
What a trip Manny Mercado and Abdul Ryan are having with Gulf Grouper, Leopard Grouper, great Dorado fishing, and so much more, including some really big yellowtail fishing with Fish Arms Sport Fishing and Misael Martinez. Great fishing in the Bay of LA, and the guys are putting the wood to them.
Woo! On the fish arms, baby! On the fish arms!
The Bay of LA, also known as Bola and Bahia de Los Angeles, is located on the Baja Peninsula in beautiful Mexico. You can see by the photos here just what a great time the guys are having. Tremendous fishing opportunities in the Bay of LA. Hey, good Sunday morning, everybody, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. I'm Phil Friedman, and it's so great to be here with you all this morning. Man, do we have a lot to talk about. We'll go south of the border. How'd you like that intro? Bay of Los Angeles. Man, those guys are putting the wood to some beautiful fish down there. And, of course, the memorial that was taking place on board the Tribute was not only touching, but it looks like it resulted in some pretty good fishing. Of course, we're going to go out to Tanner Bank and check that out. Are there any white sea bass up there in the Channel Islands? What's going on along the coast? There's been some good local fishing. How about all our islands? We'll cover that and so much more. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. That is much needed and so delicious, and I can't thank you enough for spending time with us here on your Sunday. It's early in the morning, but we want to get you caught up on all the very, very latest, and we intend to do that. If you don't mind, hit that like button. It means the world to us. If you could share these videos with a friend, that's awesome. Also, subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel, and don't forget to tick that little bell. You'll be notified when there is new content. You can catch us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Apple Podcast, X, Spotify. We love seeing you all there. All right, let's jump into it. First of all, go down to the Bahia de Los Angeles, where the boys, Manny Mercado, Abdul Ryan, are putting the wood to some Gulf Grouper and some big, nice yellowtail. You see those yellows they were catching down there? They also had Dorado. Those fish are acrobatic and so much fun. Leopard Grouper and so much more. Just great fishing down there in the Bahia de Los Angeles. This is a great time of the year to be down there. So happy that our two dear friends are having such great fishing down there. We'll move you up to Ensenada, and it's been mostly rockfish. That offshore bite has been really difficult. Now we're talking about bluefin tuna, occasional yellowfin tuna. There's been a few Dorado around there, but nothing to speak about, and it's been very inconsistent, as it has been in most cases. We'll get to Tanner and Cortez Bank and that zone here in just a moment. But down there in Ensenada, we are falling back mostly on rockfish right now. The rockfish bite's been spectacular. In most cases, you're going to go home with lots of rockfish, and you can still find an occasional yellowtail around there. Not as many as were biting earlier on in the year, but occasional yellowtail under the bird schools. Also, you see an occasional barracuda, some pretty good bonito fishing at times. Overall, however, it's been mostly rockfish with the possibility of some of those other species. Time to go out to Tanner and Cortez Bank, where the bite out there is a little bit more hit and miss. You definitely have to work for it right now. And by that, I mean fishing lighter line. Now, some guys are getting bit on the 30 and 40 pound, and I highly recommend you get bit on. You fish with as heavy a line as is possible. Those critters, those bluefin, not only pull hard, but they have teeth, and they will chew you off when you're fishing too light a line. In some cases, it's the only way to get a bite. Choosing a hot bait, going to the lighter line, fishing a number 4 circle hook, all those things can contribute to you catching a fish. But if the intensity, the ferocity of the bite goes up, then you need to up your tackle and fish it with heavier line. Overall, however, it's been a little scratchier out there. We don't know if it's the full moon that is affecting the bite. It has done so in the pack, adversely affecting it. Now, it could be that we've been on this fish for months now out there on Tanner and Cortez Bank, just pounding away at it. Could be a little bit of that, and it could be that the light switch is just going to flip on here in the next 48 hours. Today, maybe, and really start to bite again. That would not shock me one bit at all. Guys are seeing quite a bit of that stuff out there now. That big fish at night, there's a few of those being taken, but previously, it was really good on that, really wide open. Here recently, it's been a lot scratchier. In fact, some guys go big game hunting, looking for that big bluefin and strike out entirely. Other guys get a pretty good piece of it. That has been the situation for sure on that bluefin tuna. We'll continue to watch that. The Don Gardner Memorial. I didn't know Don or anything else, but it just looked like a lot of nice people out there on the tribute. Dean Gardner caught his very first bluefin tuna. That was really nice to see. And again, what a way to remember somebody in your life who prized sport fishing, who loves sport fishing. That's a great way to honor them. So good stuff there. Sea Adventure 80, 3-day trip, 33 bluefin and 15 yellowtail. The Freedom's on their way to Tanner Bank on an overnight trip. They've been doing pretty well out there. Their last trip out of 22nd Street Landing here in St. Peter. Their last trip, 22 bluefin, and none other than Dan Lightfoot and Michael Limon are on the trip right now. They're just pulling up on the bank as we speak. Hopefully they're going to get a bite on that fish. Again, some of that light line has come in handy. Other times you're getting bit on the 40-pound. We'll see how they go today on the Freedom, 22nd Street Landing. Hopefully they're going to pull a rabbit out of the hat on an overnight trip. That's a pretty good run to go out there on an overnight trip, but it can be done, and they are proving they'll pull out all the stops there on the Freedom to make sure you get a great opportunity to catch fish. A little bit about the geography. If you're coming to us from some other part of the world, Tanner and Cortez Bank are located offshore here in Southern California, past San Clemente Island. If you look at a chart, it's past there, and out there about, I want to say a 90 to 100 mile run for most landings here in Southern California, say from San Pedro all the way up to Ventura, California. About a 90 to 100 mile run to get out there. The weather out there is still a little bit breezy, but overall really, really nice. Pretty nice weather right now. It's not as gusty as it was. We'll keep our eyes on that and see where we go from here. And hopefully it's going to continue to settle down out there in that neck of the woods. Other scores out there at a fish rod. Some guys had limits of bluefin tuna, which is 2 fish per rod, per angler, per day. So there you have it. Pretty decent, not wide open. Got to work hard at it. Keep that in mind. Hey, tax problems? You want to talk to Tim Marquez? He's our number one. When you have unfiled taxes or just need some help, Tim's been doing this for 35 years. He'll help you out. And also for heating and or air conditioning needs, it's John Lopez with Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning. Doesn't get any better. And that long-range fishing remains absolutely spectacular. 7 and 8 day summertime long-range trips out of San Diego, California have been absolutely fantastic this year. 40 to 70 pound, 80 pound yellowfin tuna, just as much as you want. Limits on the yellowfin tuna on most trips. On most trips, you can get a good shot on the wahoo down there fishing around Alejos Rocks. And then also the yellowtail bite has been spectacular in most cases on the way home. So you fish down there for several days. Now you're headed home. Guys will go into the Baja coast where they've been finding some white sea bass at times. It's been a little while since that's happened, but we had some really good white sea bass fishing earlier on in the summertime. Also, we have seen some really big calico bass, some great rock fishing, more yellowtail. Been a lot of fun on the way home, giving you one more shot at the fish. And the long range scene this year, 7 and 8 day trips, has really been something to marvel at. Great fishing indeed. Don't forget, we are on the Independence in April, and we would love to see you there. A 5-day trip on the Independence in April. Make sure you give Paulina a call today and say hi to her for me. The Independence, you're going to love her. Great food, great crew. What a rig! And hopefully we're going to be all over the fish in April of 25. All right, let's talk a little bit about what's been going on at our islands, at the Coronado Islands. Kind of scratchy fishing. Some guys down there that fish full day, you know, they leave in the morning and they come back that same afternoon. Dan in San Diego, I'm talking about, are going offshore. And the San Diego, the sport boat San Diego, out of Seaforth Sport Fishing, had a pretty good hit yesterday. They had 10 bluefin and 2 yellowtail. There's been a lot of that offshore stuff showing up, but it's been reluctant to bite. That's a pretty good hit for those guys. Hopefully, we're going to see more and more of that as we go along. The Grande had nice hit also yesterday, 12 bluefin and a yellowtail. The Malahini was at the Coronado Islands, had a mix of fish, including calico bass and some other species like some lings. They also had a white sea bass, the Vendetta 2, with 5 yellowtail, 4 bluefins in it. The Mission Belle, 3 bluefin, 4 yellowtail. And again, they have some calico bass and other stuff. If they're not entirely offshore, they're fishing the islands, you're going to get a mix of other fish, including some bonitos, so nothing wrong with that. Something that sticks out like a sore thumb, and I don't have the details on, maybe somebody out there could fill me in. The Pacific Voyager, 11 guys on a 2-day trip, 110 yellowtail. Whoa, where did they come up with that catch? I'm guessing down the Baja coast, but I'm guessing, okay? If it were Tanner Cortez, I would think that some other guys would have gotten in on it, although it is extremely possible that he got on the right jag of fish that wanted to bite, or maybe a kelp south of the border, but we haven't seen much of that. But the Pacific Voyager, 11 guys, 110 yellowtail. I'm going to have to dig into that here once the sun comes up and people wake up and I can talk to them a little bit more about that. But that definitely sticks out as a, whoa, where'd that come from for sure? So we'll keep our eyes on that. Down there at, or I should say out there at San Clemente Island, a little bit of calico bass and yellowtail. At the island, most guys are offshore fishing the tuna. At Catalina Island, we're seeing a lot more rock fishing going on here. There's a little bit of calico bass, a little bit of bonita, a little bit of barracuda, a little bit of whitefish. I think you get it, a little bit. So most of the guys are going rock fishing and putting a dent in the sack, sending you home with some great eating fish. Nothing wrong with that. The El Patron goes to Catalina Island every single day. Weekday prices are reduced, so you get an extra special discount Monday through Thursday. And then Friday also reduced. Don't forget, the El Patron, beautiful, speedy boat, great crew, headed to Catalina Island every single day. Long Beach Sport Fishing is www.longbeachsportfishing.org. Up in the Channel Islands, a lot of rockfish up there right now. That's what we have been seeing. The Coral Sea out of Santa Barbara had 10 lingcod yesterday. The Aloha Spirit out of Oxnard Sport Fishing with 3 halibut. The Seabiscuit had 3 halibut, but most of the guys, although there's a little bit of calico bass, most of the guys are on the Rockfish Island Spirit, on the rockfish on a regular basis. They're leaving in about an hour. They're headed out to do their kids' fish free trip out of Ventura Sport Fishing. That should be a lot of fun endeavor, a lot of rockfish. Most of the boys, as we say, have been fishing rockfish. It's been a while since we've seen any big hit of white sea bass or halibut, and they certainly had a spectacular year on the aforementioned species. You know, Doug Tilk, who does so much for us here at Friedman Adventures, got in on one of the most prolific halibut trips you'll ever see a month or so ago, up there around 100 halibut. Also, some great friends of ours was out there. Bella was out there. Bella and Eddie Berrigan. That was a tremendous trip, just under 100 halibut, as I remember. But it's been a while since we've seen anything like that. Avila Beach, Morro Bay, good rock fishing up there. San Francisco, we continue to see really good striped bass fishing up there. Some pretty good hits on the halibut, good lingcod fishing, and also we see the occasional albacore. Albacore fishing up there is pretty good. As the winds lay down and the weather's decent, you can get offshore and catch some albacore up there in that neck of the woods. No question about it. Don't forget, if you want to jump on the Island Spirit out of Ventura Sport Fishing, you can do it by going to venturasportfishing.com or giving them a call at 805-676-3474. You're going to love the boat, Captain Daniel Hadaway and the crew. It's all fantastic. Ventura Sport Fishing. Get on the island spirit. You're going to love it. All right, let's talk coastal fishing. And down in San Diego, maybe you could say it's a little bit more hit and miss on the local scene, but it's still really excellent fishing. Nice big yellowtail on the daily double yesterday. There's that mix of calico bass and sand bass and some rockfish to go along with it. It's not that long ago, what, 4 days ago, that the new Seaforth had 27 yellowtail? So bring some 40-pound. Bring some iron, yo-yo and surface iron, and get ready to hopefully pop off one of those yellowtail hits. Again, right now it's just a few fish, but that came out of nowhere, that big hit on the yellows. Good bass fishing, so you also need to bring some lighter fluorocarbon along with it. The Premier's been focused a lot on the sand bass and doing really, really well, and the dolphin and other guys have been focused on the calico bass. It differs from day to day. Your captain's going to make the decision, but that's a good place up there at Oceanside. Those guys are picking away at the bass also. Quite a bit of rockfish for everybody. The Western Pride out of Davies Lock or Newport Beach has been doing good on the bass. Occasional exotic like a yellowtail in that neck of the woods also. Here in the Long Beach, San Pedro area, just behind me there, I don't know if you can see it. Of course you can. You can see the lights on the rigs and everything else, but once again, here we've been catching a lot of rockfish, sculpin, whitefish, rockfish. Right now, we're going to go over 300 feet in depth here on October the 1st. I love that fishing, that deep water cod. You get those big bocaccio and so much more. And then up there, Marina del Rey, some good bass fishing at night on the twilight trips. We've also seen a little bit of calico bass in the daytime out of Redondo and Marina del Rey, some bonito, but mostly the rockfish biting there. Also in the Southern California surf, we got to take you down to Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, California. Just about, well, a 10-minute walk from here. 15 minutes. Depends on how fast you walk. But down there, you get all the bait you need for a successful outing in the surf. You can do some surf fishing, buy some worms down there, whatever else you want to fish with. They also have all the surf fishing tackle you'll need. Southern California Surf Fishing Headquarters. But in addition to that, you can buy gear for trout, freshwater bass, marlin, bluefin tuna. They've got it all. Big Fish Bait and Tackle, and they're giving away a free custom surf fishing rod every single month. This month, for surf fishermen, it's for the biggest halibut. So get in there to Big Fish, buy your ruler that you have to have, and then you'll be able to measure your catch and upload your photo and video to Instagram. They'll give you all the rules down there at Big Fish Bait and Tackle. I know you're going to love that store. All right, down there around Huntington Beach, a few corvinas, some palm-sized perch, a little bit more spot fin croaker starting to show up. Seen them down there yesterday, right around Anderson Street and Pacific Coast Highway. There's some spot fin on a long cast fishing bait for those fish. Here in Surfside, right behind me here, we're picking up the occasional yellowfin croaker. That's been okay, not great, and an occasional halibut in the surf also. And up there around El Segundo and Torrance Beach, Rat Beach, Topaz Rock Jetty, more corvina seems like up there, and pretty ample supply of sand crabs around the jetty there. And down by the Huntington Beach Fair, you can make your own bait, get some sand crabs there also. All right, my friends, I don't know what to tell you. It's a beautiful Sunday morning, absolutely gorgeous. I can't thank you for taking time out of your busy day to spend some time with us. We'll be monitoring this for you as the day goes on, and we'll see if anything pops up. We'll watch Tanner Cortez. We'll watch south of the border. We'll keep our eyes on the islands. And as always, I can't thank you enough for all of your great support. Have a beautiful Sunday, my friends, and I hope to see you really, really soon.